Too scared to leave home without the vaccine? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because I want to talk about this article from KidSpot of all places, but I think it's quite relevant at the moment. It's about pregnant mothers too scared to leave home because, well, they are at a very high risk and pushing to get the Pfizer vaccine. Now, a few days ago, I decided to get vaccinated. I finally said, okay, time to take it. And, well, I'll put my argument to you why I decided to. A few reasons. The first one was, well, I've got a choice between two things. I have a highly evolving virus of dubious origins, which is rapidly changing and has a significant mortality rate, even though it's quite low, and I'm at a very low chance of succumbing to it. And then I have a virus which millions of people have taken, and there have certainly been some people with side effects, but all of my anecdotal contacts and friends that I know have mainly been fine with absolutely no issues. So, there's the choice. Do I risk an illness or do I risk a vaccine? And frankly, I think the illness presents the much greater risk to me in the long term. And I've got very little confidence in our government bureaucrats to, solve the situation. And then there was the other one. Even if, I'm reasonably healthy, I'm young, by all measures, I would probably not succumb to it. But you know what they'll do? They'll lock you up in the hospital for a week or a fortnight or 2 weeks. So I'd rather avoid that potential loss of income. And then thirdly, we have a family member who is highly susceptible to this. And if all I have to do is risk this vaccine to reduce a potential viral load I could spread to my son, then I should do that. Or at least I consider that appropriate. So that's my decision making, everyone. And I'm sure all of you will respect my right to choose, guys. Now, I also, the reason I wanted to talk about this, and this article is highlighting it, is because of how long it took me to get vaccinated. Literally, I got vaccinated yesterday, everyone. The day before that, I filled out the paperwork, and I got the appointment the morning after. When I filled it out with Queensland Health, which was a convoluted, complicated process, and a pain in the ass, and to be brutally honest, that's what has deterred me from doing it in the past. It told me I wouldn't be able to get anything until October because, I don't want no dodgy, AZ. I want the good stuff. I want the stuff that, let's have a look, that the, people who do their brain work
Rations were shortened for the workers, but the pigs, by virtue of their brain work, were plentifully provided for.
I'm referring to the politicians that get the Pfizer. Guys, in case you don't know, I'm milking that Animal Farm clip until the end of time. So, let's have a look at a survey I put up. I asked viewers how long it's taken you to get, if you decided to, how long your period was. Because literally, it was from one afternoon to the next morning. I suspect because we've had the lockdown here in Queensland, people cancelled. And you can, doing it online, not through your doctor, because I guess I can get the Pfizer, I could pick the different locations where I wanted to go. So I found one further out of the city where it had either more capacity or maybe people were less inclined to get it. So we're really getting mixed messages here, particularly talking to my neighbor. And this doesn't fill me with confidence that we're ever going to hit the 70% mark in the time frame that they're pushing. But so I asked this poll. If you've been vaccinated or have made an appointment, how long did you or will you have to wait to get vaccinated? Now, 31% said days, 26% said weeks, and 44% said months. So that's quite interesting out of 493 votes. And we'll just refresh that to see if there's any more. There you go, 30% said days, 26% said weeks, and 44% said months. Because everything is hinging, at least Scomo's plan of freedom, is hinging on getting people vaccinated. To mitigate the hospitalization risks of it associated. I mean, there's another thing. You're getting people saying, look at all these people. I think the issues that we're facing here is confusing communication from a lot of different parties. You've got something coming out from the chief health officer. You've got something coming out from the prime minister. You've got all these conflicts and issues. You've got perceived risks. You've got well, people being afraid and people being hesitant, people having a lack of trust in our experts and authority figures, and which is completely understandable, guys. And sadly, though, there are going to be some people that don't respect the fact or understand why people have this level of distrust, and rather than try and have discussions about things, they're just going to try and force stuff. Awesome, where Australia's going. So let's have a look at this article. Nicole is thrilled to be pregnant after trying for 3 long years. However, and by the way, if people are asking, I've had no side effects. I decided to prove to myself that I mean, it's the first one. It doesn't have any issues, mostly, although I have seen family members that have been succumbed to it a little bit. I decided to dig up a concrete post to prove myself that I was fine. Anyway, so Nicole is thrilled to be pregnant after trying for 3 long years. Well, that's fantastic. Here's the thing with regards to getting pregnant. A lot of people don't understand their cycles and how it all works. You're not taught any of that at school, which is just sad, really. However, she fears for the safety of herself and her unborn child. Okay, so she's a first mother. I mean, Rachel is... she's not getting the vaccine. She's a pregnant mother. She can get the Pfizer one, but she's concerned. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, a doctor, and he was saying that they've got no long-term testing on the vaccine with regards to pregnant women. They're just basing it on what they have from the trials that they've done and based on previous ones. But they do know. Here it is. It's all about risk, guys. This is all about risk assessment. They do know that women have a much higher mortality rate with regards to the COVID illness. That's known. So, I mean, this is the same thing why I'm annoyed the government isn't putting a huge campaign out there to reduce obesity rates, because that would also put a dent in this. If anything, that would be more effective. You're going to see, the sad thing is you'll see people that are morbidly obese. They've got a much higher chance of hospitalization. Then their body may not be able to produce, their body isn't able to produce the same number of antigens as someone who's healthy. So either if they are getting the virus, they're in trouble, or even if they're getting the vaccine, they're not going to have the same capacity to take advantage of it. What happened? We need to get Life Be In It back. Good old 80s propaganda, probably fat shaming now these days, Life Be In It, The Castle Hill mum joins endless pregnant women across Australia struggling to get vaccinated after it was announced over 3 weeks ago pregnant women are now eligible for the Pfizer vaccine. We are surrounded by a bunch of people who don't believe in the disease or vaccination, and there's no herd immunity. I feel like it is my responsibility to look after myself and my community and get the vaccine, the mother of 2 admits to KidSpot. I'm fairly worried about it. I don't leave the house. I either shop online or send my husband. Well, she wants to minimize her risks, and that's understandable. I'm too scared to leave the house because I'm 6 weeks pregnant and can't get vaccinated. I'm higher risk now, and it's not just me, but my baby too. Well, she's right there. She is at a higher risk. However, when KidSpot was speaking to Nicole at 8 a.m. on Monday, she'd been left with no choice but to step outside as she anxiously sat in a long queue with her husband, Aaron, waiting for a COVID test. This is the first time I've left the house in weeks. Okay, now this is the concerning thing. This ties into the mental health issues that we're seeing there, guys. I guess I'm taking life from a stoic philosophy. What happens, happens. You just go with the punches. That's probably why people are cancelling appointments, everyone. They're all scared now to even leave the house. There's also been a lot more cases popping up around us. We both have a bit of a tickle in our throat. Okay, they're worried. On June 9, here's the thing. You got to remember, guys, the flu's still going around. Coronavirus is still going around. Parainfluenza is going around. All this other stuff is going around. We've got it. We've been decimated by it. Fortunately, I got away without getting it, to be honest, so which is great. That's the problem when you have a big family with lots of kids. On June 9th, the Royal Australian and New Zealand College of Obstetrics and Gynecologists and the Australian Technical Advisory Group put out a joint statement recommending all pregnant and breastfeeding women get vaccinated with Pfizer. This is because the risk of severe outcomes from COVID-19 is significantly higher for pregnant women and their unborn baby, the statement said. So now here's the framing of it, guys. It's not that this is going to be completely perfect without issues with the Pfizer. They may not know that. They may have long-term consequences, but you may never know. We may not know for years. But they do know the risk from COVID-19 is severe. And what information they have, they're basing on that this risk is higher than that risk, everyone. Now, the problem is a lot of people, we suck at measuring risk. People suck at measuring risk. We suck at understanding numbers, and people will overestimate the risk for things and underestimate the risk for other things. Yeah, it's like investing. It's a sure thing. It's all good. 100% it's right. And I think, honestly, there's one book or two books I want to encourage all of you to read if you haven't already. Persuasion and Influence by Cialdini. I highly recommend you read these because I honestly think there are a lot of people that have a hesitancy for getting the vaccination simply because of some of the terminology and words out there. Spike protein, that will persuade you with concern of damage, fear, hurt, something negative. And then you can put any old word salad out there and people will eat it up. So you've got to understand how you can be influenced and manipulated, everyone. And people will use that on all sides of politics, to be quite honest. We're seeing that all the time and in the media. But they're very good books. And we're on the Improving Your Health During Lockdown reading list. And I think this is going to be a much longer lockdown in Brisbane, guys. Prepare for it, to be honest. So, however, the federal government's vaccine eligibility checker continues to advise pregnant women when they attempt to book that they are not in the priority group. This is causing pregnant women, particularly in Sydney, like Nicole, enormous stress. I'm high risk now, and it's not just me, but my baby too, and we don't know what the risks are if I caught COVID. It's terrifying, she added. She says, adding Aaron is also extremely worried for her. I found out I was pregnant just a few days before they announced pregnant women were eligible. A friend sent a screenshot and said, look, you can get the vaccine, and I thought that was a relief until I found out there was no way of booking in. This is the problem. This whole rollout has been a complete stuff-up with regards to inoculating the population, instilling the people with confidence, addressing hesitancy in people, and just doing it efficiently, everyone. Here's the thing, good old government, you really can count on them, can't you? And you've got no other alternative. She went straight to the booking website after doing the eligibility questionnaire and found there was no option for pregnancy. Nicole then called the hotline but was told they used the same system and couldn't do anything to help her. They told me to give it a couple of days and it would be updated, but nothing changed, the frustrated 35-year-old says. It seems silly to make an announcement without having the framework there already. Well, welcome to the government. I rang 8 doctors and got on the wait list with one for the COVID vax. Nicole works at schools as an Auslan interpreter with children doing their HSC and feels at higher risk because children can't get vaccinated but can of course still spread it. Every single day, the determined mum calls different places and doctor surgeries to try to get the vaccine. Here's the thing, people who want to get it can't get it, guys. This is such a little mess, isn't it? So much Googling, we called 8 doctors the other day and managed to get on the wait list with one doctor, she said. However, the wait list would take her to late September, if not later. The recent announcement to redirect Pfizer to children in southwest and western Sydney is a further blow, as she is desperate to protect herself and her babies after trying for 3 years to conceive. Professor of Midwifery at Western Sydney University, Hannah Dalen, said the Delta variant has definitely put a new spin on the need to vaccinate as it attacks younger people, meaning pregnant women are more at risk. If you are in a high-risk area and have high-risk factors, the choice is easy to vaccinate, she tells KidSpot. We want women vaccinated before their last trimester. Well, there you go. We don't need to worry about that then. We're already in the last trimester in our family. Professor Dealan said, there are pregnant women in Australia in ICU at the moment, and 1 in 10 women in the UK admitted to hospital with COVID are going into intensive care. We want them vaccinated before the last trimester, so there is a critical period where they can't be vaccinated until October, she stressed. The last trimester from 28 weeks is the highest risk for pregnancy. She added that pregnant women with COVID-19 can give birth preterm and be very sick. Professor Deland says, there are still not huge amounts of evidence around COVID-19 vaccines and pregnancy, largely because they are never involved in phase 3 randomized trials, so scientists are left to look at real-life data. That's the problem. This is the problem we have, everyone. Our ongoing survey of 519 women who had a baby 12 months ago were asked their intentions to be vaccinated. It found 62% said they would, 12% said they wouldn't, and 26% were unsure, mainly due to fears over safety during pregnancy and breastfeeding, she explains. At the end of the day, it's the woman's decision, and it's not an easy one. It should be informed and free of pressure. We have not been doing that very well. It's a very hard place to be a pregnant woman and trying to make that decision. Main focus with the eligibility checker is translating it into applicable languages. Oh, are you kidding? This is, well, the challenge of a multicultural society, everyone, isn't it? There you go. A spokesman for the Department of Health said the eligibility checker is currently being updated to reflect the change. Oh, okay. Not language, just adding information. In the meantime, pregnant people can talk with their healthcare provider. Pregnant people get stuffed. Pregnant women, okay, grow up. Stupid news. Come on. Ugh. What is this? Chris Chan article to discuss options for vaccination and direction to a local vaccination clinic. They said to Kids Spot. To support decision-making, vaccination providers and women who are pregnant, breastfeeding, or planning will refer to the guide provided here. Okay, and they want to focus on... Oh, wait, no, into applicable languages. There you go. So, guys, there we have it. People scared to leave home who even want to get vaccinated. I can't see us reaching that 70% goal, everyone. What do you think, guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. Are you planning to get vaccinated? Are you holding off? Or, what? Here's the question. What would it take for you to recommend a family member that you care about gets it? Anyway, take care, guys. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. Use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Buy a merch from HeiseSays. Use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint or support us via PayPal. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.